Hey y'all, thanks for clicking through here. We're going to be talking about different tabletop gaming related things, pretty much whatever we want. Today we're going to talk about 13th Fleet. In this particular RPG, players play as captains in a fleet of Imperial ships who are retreating home after the Battle of Near Victory. They have to loot, pillage, plunder, and then backstab each other along the way so that they can all be the ones to claim what little glory there is after, a battle of near victory. But we're going to get into it with one quick note. We're going to be mentioning a game called The Kingsmen, and that's going to be just a traditional dark fantasy tabletop mechanics-wise. We're going to use it to compare 13th Fleet, and that's kind of your basis for comparison. It's kind of our own homebrew thing, my own homebrew thing. But when you hear it, that's basically what it is. So thanks for listening and enjoy. If you have any suggestions for something we should talk about, drop it in the comments and we'll check it out. All right, so compared to probably like Alien is probably the one, and the Kingsmen, I guess this would certainly be on the more humorous side and probably the more, player versus player oriented.
Definitely, and maybe also more structured.
Really? What do you mean more
Well,
structured?
I mean, in the sense of that it has phases instead of more open play. Apart from combat, the other Kingsman is, for example, pretty open.
Right.
So I think, like, 13th Fleet in that regard makes the campaign itself a little shorter.
Okay, that's what you mean. Then the whole campaign overall. I got you. Yeah, this was. You basically just mean the story, right? Sort of open ended.
Yes, and this is more goal oriented.
Right. Right.
Going towards a goal every time.
And then you have I guess all the Alien ones we did were one shots, but they were just sort of one shots. They had the same sort of structure.
See what the campaign will be in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, that's true too. But I think it'll probably be kind of like this, where you have sort of vague directions on what you do, and then you kind of do it in this way where you just accomplish what you want, versus like with our Kingsman campaign, some of it was kind of goal oriented. You had kind of overarching goals, but in between you pretty much did what you want.
Yes,
pursued
we could decide in what order we would do those goals.
Right. You saying something, Baltimore?
I'm just saying yes.
Oh. So how do you like it as far as being a more humorous one than serious? I mean, I know Aliens is kind of dark, or Kingsman was, on the darker side too, or at least they were both serious, if not necessarily dark. But how do you?
Well,
go ahead.
But the fact that we just came off of doing a serious campaign, doing this is actually, in my point of view, more relaxing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's more relaxing because you really don't have to care about what others think. In Kingsman, you sort of have to negotiate and come to a compromise at times. But here, you can just go your own path and screw over your friends.
I like how he laughs when he says that.
I mean, we did have to do that kind of stuff in our first mission in this campaign, but we could have just shot them. We could have just killed them and be done with it.
Well, really, any of them. You don't. In this one, it's not like a regular campaign because you're jumping from system to system, and I mean, you could go back. It would be extra dangerous for you to go back. You guys actually sort of went on the map. Let's see, I'll show that actually real quick. You guys kind of you started at Garen, and you kind of went down to Vaughn, and then over to Vineus, and then down to Zahn, and then over to Lucria, and then you started going back up. like straight up, like making zero progress towards your objective. So you can kind of, like you were saying earlier, it's very casual. It doesn't really matter. I mean, theoretically, you could just, do this for weeks and weeks and maybe even a year if you just, go up and down every column to hit every planet if you wanted to.
You could potentially never finish.
Yeah. Well, I mean, eventually you'd run out of squares. Well, I see what you're saying too. You just go back, yeah. Well, there's only so many missions for planets. Some of them, I think, a couple of them only have one mission. I think most of them all have 2 missions per planet.
Alright, but do the players win if the DM runs out of missions?
Do this player win? No, I think you start re-rolling new planets. Well, you start doing the old planets again. I guess you just give them a different name. Or, oh no, that's what it is. So, like, okay, you've got that big dividing line there where everything starts to get harder on the right-hand side. So what happens if you run out of planets? On the front end, you start doing the level 2 planets. So, yeah.
All right.
If you wait and stall too much, you're going to get even more challenge and difficulty before you reach your end.
So basically, you'll end up floating in space, dead, eventually.
Yeah, pretty much. But what did you like best? Is there anything you think this game does better than like our last 2? The Alien and the Kingsman specifically.
Well, I mean, the mechanics for what it's made for, like the intrigue system. But that's also because it's, it belongs to specifically this tabletop, so maybe a bit incomparable to the others.
No, I mean, I still think that's an advantage. It would be a game mechanic.
I also think that this one is a little bit more guided in the role playing, if you get what I mean.
You mean like as far as having...
Yeah, like the missions are usually pretty straightforward. Like the intrigues themselves have like descriptions, so you sort of know in what direction to think.
Okay. Baltimore?
Basically what you said actually.
But what do you think this one has something about it that's better than the other 2? Or something maybe that stands out as like really the most fun about it or something like that?
Well, what makes it more fun for me is basically the option to pick the planets, like pick which way you want to go.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like in Kingsman, we'd obviously argue on which way it goes sometimes. But I'm pretty sure, but what I can remember of Kingsman is that we have no chance of doing the other mission. But in this, we can just go back to the planet we want to do.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, no. Milton, we were just talking about 13th Fleet. Is there anything you liked about this particular game that you thought was better than, say, like the Kingsmen or Aliens that we've done so far? Something that stands out or that you enjoyed the most or whatever? Besides not having any goats?
There were goats at one point.
Oh, that's true. There were goats. I forgot about that.
What I liked most about it, I liked that each mission was like its own kind of thing, and it was like it. I liked that we were kind of pitted against each other at some points. how every mission it starts and ends that way. Like with the what's that called? What's that called when we screw each other over?
Oh,
In-
the intrigues. Yeah.
The intrigue, yeah, I thought the intrigue thing was pretty cool. And like the fact that we could choose like who the commander would be and stuff, and yeah. It was just overall fun. Why are we done? Is this it? Is
No.
this the finale?
No. We were just talking about it to kill time till you got here.
Oh, okay. Happy
What-
birthday, Baltimore.
Okay.
Hold on. Save that. So, how do you think it compares to, like, remember in the Alien one where you have the buddy and the rival? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
we
that
never
was
actually-
I thought that was good too. A good
So how do you
mechanic.
think this compares to like that? Do you like kind of this way where everybody's rivals and then you have sort of situational buddies, like, you know, if the fleet commander is divvying out rewards, then they're your buddy. If not, then you know, you have to pretend they're your buddy.
Well, I mean, this one is more devious in that way. I mean,
Yeah.
Alien, it's pretty clear who you like and who you don't like.
And
And,
build that real quick.
and
Okay.
that doesn't really change. Well, it can change, but
Yeah, like
generally it
Alien is
doesn't
really
change.
linear.
And here it's just you support or are against whichever benefits you.
Gotcha.
And usually I'm against everyone, and that does not benefit me. So
Until you come up with an excellent idea.
well, the excellent ideas have been replaced because
Oh,
of an
that's right.
incident.
Oh, a warp. What was it? Going through the warp? Something happened, right? Trans-dimensional
Yeah.
warp shift or something.
Something like that.
That was coincidentally an intrigue that got played against you, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Who played that? Was it me?
It was. Yeah, it had to be you or both.
I'm back. Wait, what was me?
Somebody played
Oh.
the intrigue against Ultrafire, where he became another version of himself.
No, I don't think it was me. I think it was either
I'll
Dave
pay me then.
or
Oh, what exactly happened?
Well, basically what the effect was that I had to change an ability.
Yeah, he lost the
think-
captain ability and had to swap it out with something else.
Oh, it was me. It was me. It was me.
Okay.
Get that server up.
All right. So, anything that you don't particularly like about this system genre?
I have one actually.
You? Go ahead.
This one, and it might be a bit cheesy, but I feel like the commander should have like the final say.
The commander should have unlimited power.
If it does, that's what that's what is technically what the commander does. He has the final answer.
Baltimore for Galactic,
That was good.
the Emperor of the
That
Galactic
was good.
Empire.
What you're basically saying is you want to rig every election in your favor.
Also,
Yeah, but
the fleet commander should be able to drive the Death
no,
Star.
like besides the votes on the new commander, the commander should get the final answer. Because that's the commander. He's
Well,
he's the
When there is
oh,
a
she
tie, the
is the,
commander does that get the final say. So
Alright.
there's some sense of power there.
So, all right.
if that
So,
was the case, then there would be no point in voting.
Yeah.
Because then the
I meant besides
only
voting.
vote that would matter would be the commander.
all right. So, besides lack of unlimited power, Milk Doodle, anything that not fun, didn't like, or
Hmm. Nothing's really coming to mind. I really liked this one.
all
It was
right?
really just fun every time.
Yeah, it was totally worth my
I
$4.
think the only issue is, like, if you're going to, you won't play it for months on end.
Well,
Well, yeah,
mean,
but at
we
least
have
if
so
you don't
far.
skip, if you don't have to cancel events every 2 weeks. But
Right.
in general, like Kingsman,
Oh,
you would keep
I
up with
have a
longer.
complaint. I have a complaint.
Wait, is it about this game or is it about something else?
It's about this game.
Oh, okay.
When when your ensign becomes incapacitated.
Wow.
That's not fair.
Wow. All right. So far the
I got
complaints are not enough control. Okay.
Yeah, I got one.
You know what I also hate? Like that dying thing. That's just really.
Death.
Oh,
The
Yes.
dying
just hate
thing.
dying.
When your ensign dough gets burnt to a toast.
Yeah, it's like, who does that?
Who
That's just
does that?
cruel.
Also, the fact that I died.
That was your complaint? That's your
Yes,
complaint too?
I
Dying?
died. I should not have died.
You know, if I had actually read the rules correctly, you guys would have died way more often. But so far, it's holding to a pattern. About every 2 or 3, someone's dying. So
Hey, I've yet to die. My ensign is yet to die actually.
Ensign Girly Man has survived.
Yeah, ensign girly man prevails.
I mean, if we included the alien, the Kingsman, and now this,
Well, that
that
okay.
was my first time dying.
Mrs. Medieval brought up a great point too. That you guys have died less because of interaction with chat. Somebody, I think it was actually Starkelp that saved Baltimore's ensign from the most glorious death ever described, and then he saved him, and he died to a, what was it, shrapnel? A piece of exploding shrapnel. And you had basically what was essentially the Death Star beam killing you, but no, you went out to a tiny piece of shrapnel.
So she wants to cause me even more pain.
Seems that way.
Seems like that's Mrs. Medieval's job.
What do you have against me?
Well, I think you're just fun to play with.
Oh yes.
It's just because
Also, happy birthday, Baltimore!
I get.
All right. So, anything else, Ultra, that you didn't like?
No, not in particular.
Is
Anybody
it
else?
because all the cool stuff happens to me?
Maybe if like the players get there in time, that would be nice.
All right,
Yeah,
we're moving this along then. So, any other random comments or things that you think people should know before playing, or do you think that would encourage them to try it? I mean, I assume since you guys didn't really have a whole lot of bad things to say, other than lack of complete absolute power, that you would recommend it.
Yeah.
Well, I think like on the surface, the thing looks quite niche. Like, I get it when people in chat say that it doesn't look very interesting to them, because it isn't like a big franchise like Alien or something. But I can almost assure people that it will be more fun than they might initially expect.
Yeah, definitely being part of it. I mean, obviously, like, you want it to be fun for the viewer too, but I mean, it's really fun for us.
Yeah, like when I first joined, when I first started doing the tabletop review lot, I thought it was gonna be boring as hell, but it was actually very good.
Especially those times you had complete and total power, right?
Yes.
Are we going back to the Kingsman now?
I want to.
No,
Aliens
we're not
first.
done.
Well,
But
we're
yeah.
not done with 13th Fleet, but after 13th Fleet, we'll go to Aliens first.
Then Kingsman?
But
Yes,
do we?
probably.
So, no other
And
random.
then dinosaurs?
Oh God! No other focus, guys. All right, everybody, take your meds and focus. Like 2 more seconds. Anything else to say about 13th Fleet? No. Yes.
Well, we're Zoomers, so we don't have that many seconds.
One of you isn't a zoomer, so.
Well, that's true.
All right. Well, there you go. 13th Fleet. Play it. Comes player recommended.
The 13 definitely doesn't mean bad luck.